Allez le bleu. France have named their team that's going to take on Wales to kickstart the Six Nations 2025 in Paris. And, well, yeah, while I sit here waiting for the Welsh team, let's have a look at this French 23 then. Voici l'équipe de France pour le Pays de Galles. I'm aware my French isn't perfect. I'm trying. I think on the last video, I referred to the channel not as Egg Chasers, but as Egg Shoes in French. So I'm trying. By the way, I do have another channel looking at French rugby, speaking English, you'll be glad to hear. And that is FR UK Rugby. I do it with former England World Cup winner Joe Worsley. So we'll be having our say on this and other French rugby matters. So go and check that out, FR UK Rugby. But right now, let's talk about, here on Egg Chasers, not Egg Shoes, let's talk about the French 23-man squad. I mean, that is a good-looking team, isn't it? And when I say good-looking, I don't just mean Romain Ntamack is back. Although if you did want to get a wife or girlfriend into rugby, this Six Nations, put on the telly on Friday night and just go, there you go, look at the French number 10. They'll be very happy. That's coming from my wife. But yeah, on that, Dupont and Ntamack back together, reunited. That is just chef's kiss. Just as an England fan, I'm dreading next week if Penaud is back and you have all these superstars at Twickenham, maybe embarrassing England again. But just as a rugby fan, I'm so excited that Dupont's in this year's Six Nations. We did miss him last year. And Ntamack has put his injury woes behind him and hopefully can get back to being the player that he was before he was injured. I think there's an argument he's not the best 10 and that Jalabert might be playing better, or Ramos certainly. But he plays with Dupont every week at Toulouse, and seeing him in blue is going to be awesome. It's a really good team. Not without some limitations, though. So let me just run you through. Give me your thoughts in the comments down below. I guess the two biggest talking points, second row and 13 and wing. So with Thibaut Flamont out, and that is the one thing. Yes, we've got Dupont and we've got Ntamack, but with they give with one hand, they take away with the other. No Penaud and no Fickou, no Flamont. So the people that are replacing them, that's where the biggest talking points are and where the limitations of France may be. So second row, no Flamont, him and Miafu together are brilliant. Rouma, very good in the line out. I don't think he's quite a Flamont player. He's not going to hit as many rucks, make as many tackles. He's brilliant going forward with the ball, which is why he plays most of his rugby at number 8. In November, he was wearing 7 for France in one game. I'm not sure. I think he'll be fine. Against Wales, he'll be absolutely fine. But I think it is a step down from Flamont. Rouma's very good, though. And they've got 2 youngsters on the bench in Oradu and Guillard, who are very good. They'll both come on at second row. Guillard does a kind of more of a tight headlock role, and Oradu will probably replace Boudehon, and Rouma will go into the back row perhaps. But not as strong as it could be. And I think France need to build a bit of depth at lock. And the same goes when you look at 13-14. Fickou's been there for years. Penaud is one of the best wingers in the world. And neither of them are there. Pierre-Louis Barassi gets the nod at 13. Now, in the last couple of years, Emilien Guéton, who's on the bench, and Nicolas Deportier have been groomed to be that next 13. And then Pierre-Louis Barassi comes completely out of the woodwork. He hasn't played for France in 3.5 years. He's had 1 start for France, 3 caps, 1 start, and he's back starting again. So Galthie obviously sees something in him now that he didn't see in him the last few years. He's been playing really well for Toulouse. And if you're starting in that Toulouse team, you can't be too shabby with all the great players they've got, like Paul Coste, like Peter Aki, like Santiago Chocobares. If you're mixing it with those guys, you've got to be pretty handy. And Barassi's still only 26, so he's got a lot of rugby ahead of him with a youngster in Guéton getting the nod on the bench. On the wing, Theo Atisogbe replaces Damien Penaud. That just means France have got like wheels still. Louis Bielbiere and Theo Atisogbe are absolutely rapid. Atisogbe was playing in the Under-26 Nations Championship this time last year. I think he's still eligible for the Under-20s. He was 19 in the summer when he was playing against Argentina and scoring in both test matches for the French team against Argentina, by the way. 3 caps to his name, 2 tries. He knows how to find his way to the finish line. He plays for Section Palois in the top 14 and is very, very good. Will he be exposed at international level against really good opposition? Well, we may find out in the weeks ahead, or we may not find out in the weeks ahead. Maybe more likely, because Wales, with the greatest of respect, are probably going into the tournament as the poorest team. So it's a good opportunity to try Atisogbe out. They could have gone for a more experienced guy like Gabin Villiers, but they can learn a bit about Atisogbe. And then next week, Penaud can come back for England. Happy days. I mean, as a rugby fan, I hope Penaud comes back next week. As an England fan, I really kind of a little bit of me hopes he doesn't. But Dupont, that man at the fulcrum, Le Petit General, the playmaker, the main man, massive that he's back in the side. I mean, they're going to win, aren't they? They're going to win, and they're going to win comfortably. 6-2 split on the bench. A bunch of youngsters. Oredu, Guillard, Jegu, very good players. Relatively untested at the top level. Let's see how they get on. It's quite a good game to try some of these guys out. I think there will be changes for the England match. I think Flamont, if fit, will come back. Penaud, if fit, will come back. Possibly Villiers will come back in on the bench as well. And maybe it'll be someone else wearing the 13 jersey next week. We'll see. We will see. France are going to win. They'll get the 5 points. They should win by probably double digits, but you never know. Wales have got some strengths and France do have some limitations. Let me know what you reckon. More to come when the Welsh announce their team. I'll do a combined team at that point. And in the meantime, just hit subscribe on the channel and I'll see you on the next one.